I can't believe that this skeleton is $50, but this is why it's worth it. Okay, yes, he comes with a lot of stuff, but this is 50 bucks because, honestly, it's a work of art. So let me get into Maxillius the Harvester. This incredible Mythic Legions skeleton boy is a harbinger, and he makes sure that death has a lot of bodies to build an army with. This thing comes with a bunch of stuff. My favorite piece probably being this time thing. Hourglass? These are the days of our lives, as told by Maxillius the Harvester. Now, Mythic Legions has been doing a phenomenal job for a long time. I have one other figure, but this thing really stands out, and I gotta thank Ish from Toys R Ish. Hey, that's a clever name. If this is something you're interested in, then be sure to hit up his Ko-fi store, where he has plenty of Mythic Legion options to pick from, like this guy. So let me get into this thing and show you why it's really just a fantastic thing, even if you're not a Mythic Legions collector. Starting off the box, these things are pretty much the same every time you get them. So they are reusable, which is nice. You don't damage your box. So if you want to put things back in there, you totally can. Incredible card art, as always. Be sure to heat up the joints on your figures, okay? You should be doing that with basically everything. Now, checking out this guy's accessories, he's got this incredible necklace thing. I don't know. What is this? What's the mythology behind this thing? Besides the fact that it's awesome? Wait, what does that mean? What's the mythology besides the fact that it's awesome? That's not how words work. But today, the words will be great sculpt, great paint, okay? You're gonna hear that throughout this video. Then you get, as always, with a skeleton, you need a couple pointing fingers because they're calling on you. You are next to die, and I will reap your souls. And, of course, a classic gigantic scythe. And this thing, is that how you say it? Scythe? Why does that seem weird? This thing is gorgeous. All the details, the cracks, the lived in for a dead guy. The lived-in look to this thing where it's just like grimy and gross and it's been used for millennia probably. The details all the way through the wood and this little handle, and finally the hourglass. This piece alone might make this guy worth it. This thing is gorgeous. I can't wrap my head around like the detail at this scale. I mean, it is pretty big, but still, like, look at this. And then the way they use this kind of frosted look for the glass itself is very smart. Up next is an alternative head. Now, Mythic Legions a lot of times will have alternate heads or helmets and things. Unfortunately, my Lady Averona, which I do have, didn't come with an alternate head, but we'll move on. The skull on this thing looks great, which is now a great set piece if you're doing different characters. Maybe you've got like anything where you want a skull. How about that? That makes sense. But you can swap it out and give him the look if you need it. Now this thing comes with a pretty wild back setup with like wings and bones and then like a little halo kind of thing, which is pretty cool. And you know what? I actually have a really good accessory to go along with this guy that's full of accessories itself, and that is this thing. What's it called? Super action stuff. The corpse thing. Now looking at the details of this guy's like back accessory, whatever you want to call it, the wings are gorgeous. And it makes you kind of want like an alternative version of this guy or his wings where they're like fully expanded, but you don't get it this time. Not this time. The really wild thing here, not only with like the guts or whatever in between the bones, but the bones themselves have like the porous look that bones have. Like have you seen bones? Huh? Have you been to a museum and they always look like they're like very porous in certain spots? They capture that in a figure this size. It's crazy. And maybe one of the coolest things that this figure can be used for is a tree ornament for Christmas. So happy holidays. Here's Death. Well, his harvester. By default, the head that's on there is a skull head. However, those eyes are just boned over. And then he does come with a couple of gripping hands. Now, these gripping hands are kind of squared off, which makes you think that it's not going to hold round things. And the plastic is kind of tough, but yes, you can get the round stuff in his square hands. I don't quite understand how this happened, like why it's square, but whatever, it worked. And then, of course, he's got some bony toes. Now, articulation is actually pretty impressive with this thing. Now, maybe that's because he has no guts or anything, so he can, like, articulate it as far as he wants to. Joints are very stiff, but in a good way, like solid, I guess is the way to say it. And he's got basically any kind of direction you would want. Now, a lot of stuff are they're just hinges, so they're not like ball joints on the wrists or the hips or anything, but you still get a lot of range, which is really cool.
How do you like the legs, ladies?
Now, not only is the hood wired, but so are the sleeves, which makes this thing way more dynamic for posing. You can have the sleeves kind of down his arms or blowing in the wind of death. As you can see, he has no problem holding the stuff, and it does look fantastic in his hands, even though it's a square peg with a round hole. No, that's backwards. But this guy fully decked out is terrifying. Obviously, he looks like he's coming to capture your soul, which is what he's meant to do. The back. So this is the interesting thing with Mythic Legions. These are very, like, modular figures. So you can, like, remove things, swap them around on different characters. So you think, looking at the back of this guy, all right, well, he's got these holes, which we've seen before. Basically, every Mythic Legions has. And then you can just take that thing off his back, which is cool because now you get a good look at all the details of it. But maybe you want to swap some stuff around with your Lady Averona that you have, Jonathan. Well, look at that. We've got holes in the back, so let's just take those things, plug them in. Oh, they're different sized width. The width on this modular, this is the part I don't understand. I mean, I guess it makes sense for some characters that are different sizes, like maybe you got some little guys like dwarves or something. But what? These guys are about the same size. Why is this? So that's a bummer. But it would have looked super cool because the colors already worked in her eyes and stuff, and it would have been cool, but it's not cool. And if you remove everything from your boy, your skelly boy, then he just looks like death. He just looks like your basic guy that's come to...
Time is up. You must come with me.
Especially when you swap over that head to a standard skull. It just looks so good. And look at that, with the hood up. Now, the other thing is, they're modular things, right? They come with alternate heads. You can take those heads, swap them around. So, all right, couldn't get the wing stuff to work on Lady Averona, but let's just move the head over. And, oh, those are different pegs too, even though they're roughly the same size figures. Now, if you want to remove this thing totally, because now we're getting into the space of like, well, honestly, just the robes and plain death without all the extra gear is a great thing to have for a lot of your collections. But maybe you just need a skeleton. So you want to take the soft goods off, but you're worried about the tie off? Don't worry. It's a slip knot, ladies and gentlemen. So you can just easily pull that thing, pull the whole garb off. I would recommend removing an arm from the shoulder. It makes it a lot easier. Now you get a deep dive into the details and the articulation of the skeleton, which they've done a lot of skeletons. I wonder how similar this one is to the others that they've made, because he doesn't have an articulated jaw, but that's okay. But yes, this thing is fully decked out and detailed all the way through. So now you got a little skeleton boy with his hourglass and scythe, or you just have a little skeleton boy that you put with, who? Maybe you got your Tears of the Kingdom Link. Well, there you go. It's perfect. I mean, not perfect, but it's as close as you're going to get, because I don't think Figma's ever going to make the villains. They're going to make 3 characters, if that, and then they're done. And you can have fun with your delicious in-dungeon crew, because they are in a dungeon, and you fight skeletons in dungeons, and then maybe you use their bones for broth. And of course, maybe time is up for Flipor.
Ah, your time has come to an end, Flipor.
See, I got the FOMO, and that's called the fear of missing out on living. The Scepter of FOMO? I'm stupid. And I can't do... where's Mad Hatter when you need him? Of course, it works perfectly with Lady Averona, as long as you're not trying to swap parts. But I'm okay. Or you just need a good death on the shelf because maybe you think it's cool. Well, there you go. You did it. Or maybe you just have the warrior with his ball and chain from the Frank Frazetta painting. It's not Conan, right? It's just the warrior. Harbinger Studios sent it to me. I just have it. But if you take the warrior's ball and chain and shield and give it to the skeleton Look at that. My God. Now that the warrior does look good, especially like this is the proper use of like shiny skin because it just looks like he's oiled up like an 80s Schwarzenegger. But that's perfect. Now you just have like, it kind of reminds me of like what is the old claymation thing, the Argonauts, Jason and the Argonauts or whatever. Like these, the ball and chain and shield works so well with the skeleton, so that is kind of a perfect duo if you just want a basic skeleton. But then, you know, you're buying two figures, just it doesn't matter. But of course, when you remove this cloak, you find out that
I have holes, and I must have them stitched up. Does anybody know of a good seamstress?
this basic skeleton does look fantastic, and of course you got, I guess, roughly 3 versions of building him out, and I love every option.
Oh, I can finally get that itch that I could never get when I had skin.
Well, there you have it, folks. If you are a fan of Mythic Legions, or maybe you just need this skeleton or other skeleton options, then hit up Ish on Toys R Ish through his Ko-fi store that I have shared the link to, and grab something. It's free shipping, which is great, so that's already cheaper than Big Bad Toy Store. So support a local guy, a great guy, who also does IshCon, which I went to and made a video of, and you can watch to see if that's a convention you want to go to by clicking the link there and watching it. It's a good time. Thank you so much for watching this. We'll see you next time.